Hello, good evening. My name is Sandra Jennings, and you are tuned into Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. And my guest tonight, as you can see right from the screen here, is Janice Haynes, business strategist. And she is going to share with us some business strategies. And I've known her for a lot of years, and she has a lot of business experience. And personally, I think she's gifted. That is my own brand for her. I really do think she's gifted, and I think you might think so as well. So um, let's bring Janice in. Janice,
Hey, hey, hey.
hello.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to come and talk with us, and we want to pick your brain a little bit.
I
Um,
am honored to be here and ready for my brain to be picked.
all right. So, and I have my trusty water because I've been dealing with a little bit of a sinus thing this week. So, if I have a cough attack, I'm fine. I'm fine. We making it. We
Oh,
making it. So,
okay. That's good to
anyway.
hear.
Thank you. So yes, we are live here at Passion Speak, and this is Janice Haynes. Janice, you have a thriving business that you have been operating for a lot of years, and so I reached out to you because I wanted you to share what you've been sharing with your constituents and your clients, as it would be. But first, let me say, I do remember years and years and years ago. Let's just say when this was going on, we did not have the internet, or at least we had not
Very
much
little.
of it. I remember putting my email address, not so much web address, but my email address into your listserv, and you would send out weekly reminders of happenings in the city where I live in Grand Rapids. I think you were living there here in Grand Rapids at this time,
Yep.
and it was so I missed that so much, but I remembered, man, whatever happened to Janice's business? It was your signature connection, YSC,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so you have to tell us all about YSC because I missed it and I loved it.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. YSC was a business that I never planned on starting. I was never planning on being an entrepreneur. Years ago, I received an email from my then First Lady, the late Dr. Melinda Sapp, and that email said that I was going to be doing or handling the event planning, logistics, and PR for a listening party we were going to be hosting for a gospel recording artist at our church. And so I received this email and I'm thinking, did we talk about this and I forgot? Like, what? So I did it and did the e-blast marketing, handled all the logistics for the event, did the PR and the whole 9 yards. So I did it. I was good. Um, Maybe 3 weeks later, I got a email from another pastor in the city asking me to do some e-blast marketing for an event he was holding at the Wealthy Theater. So I did that. And then, long story short, I just started getting requests to provide social media marketing. And at some point, I just said, if I'm going to do this, I need to kind of roll things back, get clear on what type of business I want to do, what I want to offer, who I want to serve as far as my clients. I didn't even have a business name registered. I didn't know how much to charge or any of that. So I created Signature, and that was probably 20 years or so ago now. And so I had Signature for probably 14 or 15 years. And I service a faith based community, and I did social media communications, social media strategies, social media plans for faith based organizations, churches, and nonprofits. And so that's how Signature started. And like you said, we didn't have, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So email marketing was the way that events was started to go. So people kind of stopped putting flyers on cars, which was, the marketing concept way back in the day,
Wait.
and, and start using email marketing. And I did that, like I said, for 14 or 15 years. And that was my
I
first
remember
business.
getting those.
Yep.
And I looked forward to them, and I was like, I bet she don't even know who she's sending emails to. And at one time, I got a glimpse. Your email, well, we called them listservs at that
Mm-hmm.
time. When you put, you would get the weekly updates, and it was so professional. And I was like, how did she put the pictures in there, and how did she do all that? And I had heard that you had a list of nearly thousands.
Yeah, I did. And what was crazy is I always find myself having done something for years and then it circles back around. I used to do um, just kind of, I was helping Henry Sapp, the comedian Henry, came to me and I helped him set up an Eventbrite. And I just started gathering email, creating an email list. And so when the email marketing part came along, I already had an email list and I had been using it through Eventbrite. So and I don't know why. Well, I know now, but at the time when I was gathering the email addresses, I really didn't know why Henry was doing his comedy. I did a lot of email e-blasts for him, and like I said, we started out in Eventbrite because I think email marketing may have been around kind of low key, but definitely nowhere, as it is now or have been over the past years.
I think you were a little bit ahead of your time in
But
that.
yeah, that was my baby. That was my baby. And I did that and it was good. It was a good business. It was a lucrative business. And I just enjoyed being able to help with faith-based events and church, things happening in the churches and all of that. And like you said, it was a way to keep people in the loop as to, what was going on.
Hmm. Hold on, we had a viewer. Who we got? Rasheen Sims.
Hi,
I
Pastor
love
Rashid.
Janice, a woman of integrity.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Thank you, Rasheen, for dropping in. And yeah, I agree. I agree. I approve. I love her.
I've done some email marketing for Pastor Rashid, was one of my
Really?
clients back. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Then she remembers that. She remembers that
yeah.
too.
She supported my business.
So you went from there to now what you're doing now as a business strategist is like God was laying the foundation way back then. So how did that whole system evolve for you?
Girl, again, I did not want to do this. I was good after I said, okay, I'm going to go on and do signature, have my business running. I was good with it. And I could work it to as aggressively as I wanted, as if I needed to slow it down because I still work a full-time job. So, long story short, God has really started dealing with me about things that I have gone through and had overcome, being divorced, single parent, being in a domestic abuse survivor, and just things in my life that I had overcome. And one day, this has been years ago, I felt like I was just existing on this earth. And I began to pray and ask God to show me what my life should be because I knew I wasn't here just to exist. So that kind of started my journey to wholeness. And so I got through all of that and here I am today, whole and happy and confident. And God started dealing with me about working with other women, encouraging other women, empowering other women, and really being an example that you're not just here to exist on this earth, you're here to live. God has given us all gifts, talents, and abilities, and you have a right to pursue your purpose and your dream. You have a God given purpose, and we all have dreams and desires, and it's never too late. When I started Signature, I was 46 years old when I started Signature. And I had that business for all those years. And so God really started dealing with me on closing signature, which I said was my baby. So it's like, get rid of my baby? So I finally made an appointment to go talk to my pastor here. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking my pastor would probably say, not right now, let's pray about it, let's wait. Long story short, he was going to be my way out of not having to do it. That was really in my head. Like, he's going to say no. So I went in, I wasn't in that meeting 20 minutes, and I shared with him what was going on. And he was like, I'm good with this. So he prayed for me. He said, when you get your business cards and get everything situated, come back. I'm going to pray over them, and I stand with you and I support the direction that God is taking you in. And so it was so funny because when I got to my car, I called my girlfriend. I was like, she said, what did he say? I said, girl, and this is just how I talked to her. I said, girl, he told me to go ahead. And so we both just started laughing because I was all set to say, my pastor's not in support of it. I was raised that you have a spiritual covering. You let them, they don't hear about what's going on with their members in the street. So I went and did that. So I was all set in my head. I'm good. He's not going. So I left that meeting and called my girlfriend and told her. And at that point, I said, God, I surrender to your plan for my life. And I know everything that I went through wasn't just for me, but to be able to help and encourage somebody else. And I also knew that God had given me a gift of administration and strategic planning. And God had given me a gift to help people map out their visions. And what I have found is so often we know what we want to do, but we really don't know how to do it or even where to start. And so often we'll say, go do this, this, and this with the assumption that the person knows how to do it. And it could be something very minute. We could say, go wash the dishes or go sweep the floor with the understanding this 13-year-old girl know how to sweep the floor. But if nobody has showed her the how, then she may not. And so that's kind of what I do now as a business strategist. I work with women, helping them break down their large business visions or purpose visions into easy actionable steps to map it out that this is your plan and these are the steps that you need to take to be able to make this become a reality. And it can become a reality. Now, I'm aging myself, and I don't care that people know my age, but if you think about it, if I started Signature at 46 and I had that business for all those years, I was in my late 50s when I started this business. So I said that to say it's never too late to pursue your purpose, passion, and dreams. So that's kind of how I got here. I was never planning on doing this either. I'm always the behind the scenes person. If you had told me, you know me, Sandra, we go way back. I don't do the in front of people communication.
I'm with you. Oh, I'm so with you.
So, but when I said yes and I wholeheartedly surrendered, because it wasn't something that I had not already been doing, I was just not, quote, official in it. I've always done vision mapping. I've always helped with planning and strategies and figuring out the how. So it wasn't like I didn't know what to do. I just didn't want to do it because I knew it was going to take me out of my comfort zone.
Wow. And um, we spoke earlier, and I felt like that you were speaking to me specifically because I never want to be in front of the camera. I want to be behind it. I want to be the one typing your script
Right,
or, managing the script or directing the cast or something of that nature. I ain't trying to be in front of the camera. Like, why? That
yep,
is, but I guess God is saying otherwise because I love doing this. I
right.
mean, I really love it. If I go a week without this, I got a problem. I'm like, no, I got to get back to it.
Right. Once I started, and like I said, I said, God, I trust you because I don't feel that I'm, quote, equipped. But God already knew what He has put on the inside of me. it was just time. Everything happens at a time. So it was just time. So once I completely surrendered and I just said, okay, God, I'm going to do it, then I was good. Everything I was not arrogant, but confident because I knew I was doing what God had purposed me to do in this season of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But before this, I would have never said, yes, I'm going to be on Facebook with you. Girl, I do anything you ask me to behind the scenes.
Now, what was the story I heard you say that oh Pastor Melinda gave you a directive that caused you to be front and center, and you passed it off, so you didn't have to be front and center.
Years ago, Lady Belinda and Bishop Sapp used to have what was called Entrepreneurs Exchange. And it was a group of business owners and entrepreneurs in Grand Rapids. And it was a business networking organization. And I was the administrative assistant for it. So we had monthly meetings. Every month, Lady Melinda would say, she called me Jay. She said, Jay, go out and welcome the guests and let them know that we're getting ready to start. That was her way of always trying to push me out of the back. I would leave talking to her and go to one of the other members and go to Sam and say, Sam, go, can you go welcome the guests? I did that the entire time they had that. And thank God Sam never told me no. He would just look at me and shake his head like, you get on my nerves. And my thought was, we do this every month. You should be used to it.
Right.
But I just didn't like it. And then one time, again, Lady Melinda, but the Bible says, one plants, one waters, and God gives the increase. Lady Melinda, we were having our women's conference, and she said, one night of the conference, she said, Janice, I want you to open the conference in prayer. Me? And our women conferences were very well attended. So the sanctuary was packed. I was so nervous, and I did it and I prayed, but I was so nervous. I walked off the stage with the microphone in my hand. The praise and worship leader had to come chasing me to get the microphone. That's how much I did not want to speak in front of people.
So, do you find that now that you are leading women, you are directing women, that what happens? Do you forget all about yourself? I mean, do you get so deep into what you are doing and the love for what you are doing that you chase away the fear? I mean, what do you attribute that to?
I think that's just it. Like now, I'm not thinking about all these people watching us on Facebook and YouTube.
Mhm.
I'm looking at you and we're just having a conversation. And so that's kind of how I do everything. I've been blessed to be able to speak at some women events and some different conferences. And, I'm always praying. I'm always very prayerful before I get up. I've done some workshops with 25, 30, 40 women at a time. And God has given me, I'm very conversational. So even my workshops, we're just having a conversation. I just happen to be the one standing up. So I
Mhm.
make it's very relaxing for me, but it's also relaxing for the attendees that I don't want them to feel like, oh, this is a stuffy workshop. No, we're just having a girls' talk. I just happen to be the one standing. So because of that, it's just I always get nervous, but I'm so surrendered to what God has for me to do that I know that if I trust Him, He's not going to get out. He's not going to let me get out there and fail or look crazy or whatever. So
Mhm.
at this point, it's like, God, I trust you. I want to be in your perfect will for my life. I want to fulfill the purpose you have for my life. And I know everything that I went through wasn't just for me. I know that there's something on the inside of me to encourage other women. And so I just take a deep breath and go on out there and do it.
Just do it. We have someone else dropping in, Miss Erica Lindsay. She says
Hi,
hello.
hi, Nisi Pooh.
Oh, that's your niece.
That is my church niece. You know how you have church family?
Oh yeah. She
Yes.
said, "Amen." She's still here. She said,
That's my
"Amen."
that's my Erica.
Oh, thanks, Erica, for dropping in. We appreciate that. Um, I want to real quick go and do a screen share on your page on there's Mama Cece. Real quick, let's just put her in. What she saying?
Hey CC.
You encourage me, both of you. Love my big sis Janice M. Haynes. Yes.
Hey
Yes,
Saya.
CC. She's another one. We gotta CC, we gotta talk later about you and your choir work. Lord have mercy, what that woman
Yeah,
has
now
done with that
that's a
choir. That's
story.
phenomenal. Yeah, we definitely got to get on
And
with that
she has
one.
been doing that for a long time.
Oh yes, as long as you've been doing YSC. But
Hmm.
anyway, thanks for dropping in, CC. But I want to real quick go and share your Facebook business page because I love it so much.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
this is just you just dropping gems on the ladies. And your demographic is largely female, but I'm sure if a male come to you and say, "I need business strategy, can you help me?" I think
I
would
I have worked with some men on business strategies, but my audience really is women.
okay. Okay, look, it is so professionally done. I can really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Um, and a lot of your teachings, you got a blog, and they can go. Your website is in the post where we've shared, and so everyone can see where they can find more of you on Facebook and on LinkedIn, as well as your website. So, and they can go on there to contact
Hmm.
if they're interested. Are you planning anything in the future where you can, have ladies together? I know the pandemic has really interrupted that.
I do online stuff all the time. So I actually have my live masterclass, which is going to be virtual. It's going to be coming probably within the next month or so, but they can go to my website now at janicemhaynes.com and join the wait list. And so they'll find out when the class actually, when registration opens.
Now, who is
And
that class directed to?
and so that class is directed to female to women. I mostly work with women entrepreneurs that are either wanting to start a business, have a business idea, or they have a current business but they want to implement some other things. So that live master class is typically about 2 hours. It is a free master class, and I just walk you through how to move from idea to execution and take your dream and put some execution to it so that it can become a reality. So I'll walk you through the process of what that looks like. We talk about what your demographics are, who is your ideal client, because a lot of customers or clients that I work with, they have an idea, but they really don't know who their ideal client is. So
Mm-hmm.
they just, for example, say for me, I'll use myself. I service women that provide a service. I typically do not work with products, but women that provide a service. So one might say, well, you can work with any woman, which is true. But when I break down my demographics, that allows me to be laser focused on my marketing, on who I'm communicating with, on where I may find them on social media. Not so say if my demographics is between 35 and 55, that's going to be my focus. That doesn't mean I won't work with somebody younger than 35 or older than 55. That just means that my energy, my marketing dollars, my marketing focus is going to be on that demographic. When we also work with them to say, to teach you to discover how did your client, your future client, make buying decisions. You have people that buy logically, and then you have emotional buyers, which is your client, because all of those things lend to how you're going to market to them, how you're going to communicate with them. Are you even talking their language? So we go through all of that in that master class. And
Okay.
again, they can go to the website and join the wait list. I'm probably going to open registration within the next couple of weeks, and it'll be the last one for 2021.
Okay. We have more comments. Erica, she said, I'm sharing the broadcast. Great job.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Eric. And who else? Shelly Wooten.
Hey, Shelly.
This is good. Thank you for watching with us, Shelly. I appreciate it. Um, so you have the master class coming up. It's going to be the last one of 2021. Um, Anything exciting being planned or at least even hoped for 2022?
I am actually in the process, and I was going to share this as well, but I am in the process. I'm actually this weekend going to be finishing up my 2022 goals. So I believe in setting my strategies for myself as well. So I do have some exciting things that are going to be coming up in 2022. Hope to be connecting with even more women to help them launch, whatever your dream and your idea is. Hope to be doing more speaking engagements to encourage women to pursue whatever you have. So I do have some really exciting things going on. And then also, in addition to my masterclass coming up, between now and the end of the month, I've opened up my calendar to work with 5 women that have an idea and they know what they want to do to help them map out the strategy. And I'm going to work with them between November and December. So when January rolls around, you're ready to hit the ground running. You have your strategy. We spent all of our planning time. And so that's a 6-hour session. What I would like for anybody that's interested, you can go to my website and book a free discovery call. We can talk about it. I can tell you more details of it, but I'm only going to work with 5 women between now and the end of the year that are really ready to and want to have 2022 be a different type of year. So often, we talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and year after year after year, we're still talking about the same dream.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you have to stop talking and start doing. So that's really my prayer, is that we move to doing,
Do it. Mm-hmm.
because
I
you
hear
can
that.
have, one thing I will share, life can be hard, and I understand that. Things can happen in our lives where you feel mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially, everything, you feel beat down completely. And you feel that because of what has happened in life, it's just what it is. This is the way my life is. This is the way it's going to be. And especially as we get older, we think any dreams that I had of starting a business or traveling or whatever your dream may be, you feel that because of things that have happened in life, that it's over. If you
Mm-hmm.
woke up this morning, thank God you still breathing, it's not over. I was
Right.
at a women's session, and I had a 70-year-old lady come up to me, and she shared with me how she had been in the foster care system and that she had just always had a heart to connect with some foster homes and just really love on some young girls and just encourage them and let them know somebody cares. And so I said, well, why aren't you doing it? And she said, well, because I'm too old. I said, but you standing here talking to me, which means you're still living and breathing. And this woman was 70, but when I tell you she was jazzy 70, and she had on some bad shoes, I'm like, if you don't figure out this plan and go on and do it, because so often we take what God has entrusted us with for granted. And that was one reason it made me move and say, okay, God, I'm going to do it. Because when I started thinking that He trusted me, what an honor that He trusted me with a gift to encourage and support other women. Who am I to say no? So I like to encourage, regardless of what has happened in your past and what hand life has dealt you, if you woke up today, you still have breath in your body. That dream has not died. There's a book that I read. The author is Dr. D. Thompson, and she has a book called Purpose Never Dies. And you still have time to do it. So I would encourage, you know, sometimes we just feel like we can't, but I want to tell you, you
Mm-hmm.
can. Remember, I said I started my first business at 46
Mm.
and
That's so
second
encouraging.
business at 62, and I I feel like I'm just getting into my groove of life.
Right. That's so encouraging. And I knew this would be encouraging. That's why I said, I was like, she has a gift.
Thank
Janice has a
you.
gift. You have a gift, and I really appreciate you sharing your gift with your clients and with us this evening. And I hope that people go on. I'm gonna go on and sign up for your master class, even though I don't want to kick anybody out because my
No,
journey might be different, but still,
no,
I
the
think it's
master class
mine.
is open to anybody. I don't have a limit like that on the master class.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, good then, because I'll sign up for that definitely. And as far as the one-on-one coaching, well, I'll save that for the women who are in that position.
Mhm.
My business is unrelated, and so I'm not I'm past that point already. But this I do just for your information. I do
Mhm.
because I just love it. I just
And
love to do it.
I love this whole concept. I really do. I love this concept.
Yeah, we have one of my students to blame for it. She was
Really?
the inspiration. Yes, I'm going to be talking about that next week.
Okay.
Um,
I
but
can't wait to
anyway,
hear that backstory.
well, good, because I'm gonna try and share it. I'm gonna be front and center, so I'll be like, oh my gosh, me? I got to talk about me. I'd rather talk about Janice.
And that's
Anyway,
sometimes hard to talk about yourself.
I
It
know.
is.
I
It
know,
is.
and I know you're an introvert. I know that. And I know that you have met people don't believe it because you managed to, capitalize on your confidence and your knowledge and your skills and let that overshadow all the shyness that you have, as well as the same goes for me, any shyness that I have. Um, so I know that when God calls you, he equips you. That's
Mhm.
just the way it
That's
is.
right. And
That's
we just have to trust that God has equipped us and lean not to your own understanding, but know that God, I'm going to trust you. I may not see it in myself, but God, I'm just going to trust you. And like I said, when I thought about it, who who are we to have a gift, have a dream, have a desire, and say, no, I'm just not going to do anything with it.
right,
That's just, and you never know what you could do if you don't try.
right.
When I first moved to, I'm in Detroit now, and I've been here probably 8 or 9 years. And when I first moved over here, or the opportunity came, I kind of was going back and forth and, talked to my mom because, of course, she was getting older. And she was like, nope, you should go. And I will never forget when I moved over and I got situated in my apartment. I went to the grocery store and I was driving home from the grocery store and I just began to cry. And I said, God, I don't know why I'm here, but I trust you. And when I look at all the doors God has opened for me since I've been here, and the connections and the opportunities that I've had just since I've been here. When I moved over here, I knew a few people at my church and I knew a few people at the company, but I didn't have any family or anything over here. And I said, okay, God, and at that point, I was in my early 50s or so. I'm like, okay, God, I'm just going to trust you. And it just comes to the point of getting out of your head, really. I mean, just getting out of your head, not worrying about what everybody else is going to say or what everybody else is going to think, and just go do you.
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. It's been a blessing, just like I knew it would be.
Thank
And
you.
thank you all for tuning in. You've been watching Miss Janice M. Haynes
Thank you, everybody.
of Janice M. Haynes LLC or JaniceMHaynes.com and find her on social media. Business strategist. She has Grace Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak with her presence and her knowledge and her gift. And we really, really appreciate it, Janice. And
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to have been asked.
oh, you are welcome. All right, everyone. Oh, Shelly says, thank you. You did right in time because we was getting ready to sign off. Thank you both. This has been amazing.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. All right. We're gonna end it. Thank you
Y'all
again.
have a good night.